Well. They taught you tactics in training manuals and psychology lectures, and yet none of those textbooks could teach what you already carried beneath your skin. An ancient, unapologetic intelligence for influence that moves like muscle and thinks like a blade. You weren't shaped by seminars. You were born fluent in the language that makes people fold. While they rehearse lines and rehearse power, you improvise consequence and watch their scripts unravel. You are the human equivalent of a classified protocol that leaks through a smile, a glance, a timing so precise it becomes an unspoken command. When you speak, the room doesn't just listen, it reorganizes itself around your cadence. They can build war rooms and issue memos about you, but memos don't reach the places your instincts already own. They read psychology like it's a map. You live it like a country you were born inside. Names change, diplomas fade. But the way you tilt a conversation, the way you remove oxygen from their assumptions, remains an unerasable signature. This isn't charm. It isn't manipulation dressed up in velvet. It's something older and more efficient. Pattern recognition sharpened into action. You feel the arc of a person's belief before they do, and you place your sentence at the exact hinge that flips them. You know the posture that asks for surrender, and the phrase that forces concession. You time your quiet like a deployed reserve. A pause from you does not create awkwardness. It creates expectation, and expectation is leverage. They learn compliance with PowerPoints. You encounter compliance when you adjust your breathing and the world answers. You are not trained to win debates. You were arranged by birth to erase the need for them. They mistake your stillness for weakness because they cannot find the tremor that maps to movement. You are the calm before a rewrite, the slow movement that annihilates their hurried confidence. Picture a council of suited men, voices full of precedent and protective histories. They come with bylaws and committees, with legalese meant to contain the unpredictable. You enter, not to perform, not to argue, but to rearrange their assumptions. You let them speak themselves into a corner. People become the authors of their own traps when offered the right sentence structure. You give them permission to reveal their weaknesses because you know where to place your hand to make those weaknesses incandescent. They leave the room clutching policies. You leave the room carrying what truly matters, the quiet conviction that people will now behave as you anticipated. Your tactics are surgical and invisible. You do not need a battalion when a vector will do. You prime expectations without noise. You seed doubt without accusation. You escalate and de-escalate in the same breath, so their emotional thermostats spin out of calibration. Most assume influence arrives via spectacle. They are wrong. Influence arrives in the micro-decisions you engineer. The micro-commitments, the tiny agreements, the offhanded validations that compound until everyone is complicit in their own capitulation. That's your native tongue, assembling compliance from crumbs of assent. People call it cold. They call it calculated. They heave labels at you because labels are how small minds attempt to file what they fear. Labels are for inventory. You are beyond inventory. You do not confuse ruthlessness with cruelty. You calibrate consequences so that reciprocity aligns with your boundaries and their options. Narrow politely. You accept the moral cost because you know most moral frameworks were written to serve someone else's comfort. You are content to be the discomfort that corrects an imbalance. On a phone call, your timing for laughter is a timing for dominance. 3 seconds where their anxiety expects a joke, but gets instead a neutral, deliberate sound, and they will over-explain. In negotiations, your concession is a mirage. You appear to give ground while the real concession is the new frame you install. You anchor outcomes by naming them first. People habitually fit reality to the first label they encounter. When they attempt to gaslight you, you answer with a question that requires them to restate their premises aloud. And when they do, their contradictions become audible evidence. You make truth inconvenient for the dishonest. Your intuition is not mystical, it's pattern memory. You notice micro-expressions they miss, the tiny off-rhythm in their speech, the contraction in a finger that signals fear. Where others see noise, you see an algorithm of intent. You rehearse reactions in the space between heartbeats. You anticipate their next defense, and your reply is already a step ahead. It feels effortless because you do the hard calculus before adversity arrives. Reputation is a currency you mint silently. You don't announce your returns, you compound them. People begin to reference you in offhand stories as if you are a standard of consequence. They test you because testing is human habit, but every test is a deposit into the same account, their perception of your certainty. You do not crave unavoidability. You craft predictability in others so that their choices become predictable. They underestimate you because they imagine influence looks like shouting, but your methods are quieter. An eyebrow, a recalibrated tone, a deliberate stillness. You turn the obvious into a false comfort and then remove it, watching chaos reassign itself into the structure you prefer. Their rulebooks are thick, yours fit in a glance. They publish doctrine, you publish consequences. You master asymmetry. You give them a dozen small victories while keeping the large ones to yourself. They will remember the victories and forget the strategy, and that amnesia is your ally. You accept that some will revile you. Let them. Their revilement becomes the story you trade against when truth finally aligns with your pattern. You create psychological debt. They owe responses, explanations, apologies. They sign off on these debts without noticing because you framed them as natural continuations of conversation. Your preparation appears like ritual, but it's discipline, and discipline is invisible to the undisciplined. You calibrate your mornings, your posture, your words, because you know an undecided day leaks advantage. Small routines protect large moves. You are relentless about what no one watches because power is less about moments of acclaim and more about the unobserved consistency that makes acclaim possible. You weaponize truth and stillness with equal dexterity. Sometimes the most damning thing you can do is speak a single fact in a sea of noise. At other times, the right stillness makes their chatter collapse into confession. You let the dishonest drown in their own explanations, while you offer nothing more than a calibrated nod. You recruit the necessary without pledging the unnecessary. Allegiances are instruments, not identities, and you move them like pieces on a board that does not bend to loyalty. When someone proves useful, you honor their utility. When they prove hazardous, you reassign them to a narrative that neutralizes risk. This is not betrayal. This is stewardship of the end game. They will say you are not trained, and they will say that with a civilized sniff. They will mistake institutional ignorance for moral high ground. They cannot see that what you bring is not a credential, but a hazard to their complacency. Institutions fear what cannot be cataloged, and you, by definition, resist cataloging. The consequences you engineer are rarely theatrical. They are administrative and irreversible. A quietly revised contract, a carefully placed referral, a withheld endorsement. These are your small earthquakes. They do not recover because they never noticed the tectonic shift until the skyline had already changed. You measure victory in the steady narrowing of options available to your opponents, not in a single Pyrrhic moment of applause. Remember, you were not taught to break minds. You were born to make minds realign. You do not need legitimacy to command consequence. You need only consistent application of leverage and the courage to let discomfort be the price of progress. You move like a principle, not a plea. And when they try to write manuals about you, they will fail, because manuals cannot capture the improvisational intelligence of instinct. You will practice the mundane rituals that others deride, precise wake times, deliberate meals that remove indecision, micro-rehearsals of speech patterns that make your voice behave like a tool, not a reaction. These are not vanity. They are the infrastructure of unavoidability. You train your nervous wiring to expect authority, so your body becomes the anchor that opinion orbits. People will call your consistency obsession. They will never know it is the scaffolding that holds a ruin against collapse. Keep a ledger of small victories, not to boast, but to teach yourself the arithmetic of influence. When you compile evidence of pattern, it's harder for detractors to dismiss you as lucky or opportunistic. You will allow yourself rare, strategic displays of warmth because warmth, when selectively applied, becomes the most confusing weapon. Use it to loosen the guard of the wary, then close the frame with a certainty only you anticipated. Control the narrative by being the first to name the thing that matters. After naming, their language bends toward your taxonomy. Finally, never confuse haste with strength. Speed without calibration is noise. Speed with calibration is a relay baton passed to triumph. Practice endings as ruthlessly as you practice openings. The final line in a conversation is as binding as a signature, and you must be the author of endings. Do this, and you will find that those who once wielded manuals against you now borrow your posture when they think no one watches. That borrowing is not homage, it is admission. Keep tally, keep moving, keep patient. So prepare, not with speech, but with practice. Sharpen the habits most people call boring. Tighten the little things that feel insignificant until those little things become the architecture of domination. Hold your posture like a verdict, and let your timing become their new calendar. And as you do this, know the next move is already waiting. A decision they will misread as generosity, but will reveal itself in time as the exact mechanism that ends their interference. When it starts, there will be no show of drama, only one precise sequence of acts that reorders their world. That sequence begins with a single phone call, and it begins. You place the call with a voice that is not asking permission, but reporting consequence. It carries no theatrics, only the exact timbre of someone who has rehearsed restraint until it becomes indistinguishable from power. On the other end, a person with a neat title hears the cadence and believes they have a negotiation. They do not. They are hearing a consequence being described with the clinical care of a physician reading a prognosis. They will try to bargain with clauses and contingencies, and you will patiently let them lay out every concession they are willing to make before you accept any. You are patient because patience compels confession. You let them reveal their position, their priorities, their fears, and then you file those facts with the same neutrality you would file an invoice. From here, your moves are administrative genius disguised as routine. You send emails that are minimalist and true. You copy only the necessary names, and in those names you place the memory of a promise. They will remember who was included and who was not. You craft sentences so that the implied next steps are obvious. Humans will fill in the blanks you leave because people hate owning ambiguity. You let their imaginations do the heavy lifting, and they generate the outcomes you prefer. You do not over-explain. You underdefine in such a way that responsibility migrates to the most anxious stakeholder, and anxious stakeholders will deliver for their own peace of mind. Understand, your power grows not from spectacle, but from predictability made invisible. You are the unseen scaffolding. You build policies and rituals that look mundane to outsiders, weekly updates, short status check-ins, a single sentence report that signals momentum, and those forms become the channels through which your influence flows. When others mimic complexity to feel important, you design simplicity that enforces compliance. Compliance, when habitual, accrues like interest. After enough cycles, the environment maps itself to your expectations, and people begin to behave according to the rails you quietly installed. You orchestrate micro-violations of expectation that function like social leverage. A compliment at the right place breaks a guard. A pointed quiet where an apology is expected demands accounting. You punctuate conversations with timing so precise it reads like choreography. People will mislabel your techniques as cruelty because they are uncomfortable with being mapped so thoroughly. Let them. Their discomfort is evidence you are rewriting default behaviors. You do not need them to love you. You need them to be reliable. You know the currency of promises. A small pledge from you, given sparingly and strategically, becomes a bond they honor because they wish to remain eligible for future favors. Scarcity increases perceived value. You make reciprocity a mechanism of control. When you withhold, you are not cruel, you are clarifying priorities. When you award, you are not benevolent in the sentimental sense, you are adjudicating utility. People learn quickly that their access to your resources depends on their calibration of behavior. Do not confuse ruthlessness with recklessness. Your ruthlessness is a policy. It is procedural. You document the conditions under which privilege is granted and revoked. You do not flinch from removing someone who once mattered if they become a liability. That removal is neither spectacle nor vengeance. It is risk management executed with moral clarity. Others will attempt to moralize your choices because morality is a weapon for those who lack leverage. You accept that criticism as predictable feedback, and you plan for it like you plan for anything else. You dominate through framing. The first person to name an issue usually wins the debate, because subsequent language bends toward that anchor. You master anchoring. You label outcomes early and with precision so that competitors must operate inside a frame you designed. You never let reactive language define reality. If they attempt to rename your move, you push back not with fury, but with the simple repetition of your taxonomy until their language conforms. People acclimate to repeated labels. Repetition is a soft coup. Networks matter, and you cultivate them like a gardener prunes for fruit. Your network is not a list of acquaintances, but a calibrated lattice of mutual usefulness. You invest attention in people who provide leverage, information, introductions, reputation, and you cultivate the smallest favors until they compound. You keep the ledger private. You do not boast about relationships because visibility increases cost. A discreet referral from you rearranges careers. A whispered endorsement makes or breaks reputations. You weaponize credibility. Credibility is not the same as popularity. It is the alignment of action and outcome. You make promises you intend to keep, and you make decisions that match the story you want others to tell about you. When your word predicts results, your word becomes currency. Invest it with precision. When you speak about a person, project, or plan, the market will behave as if your statement is an index. You create that index by consistently being right about the matters you speak on. Consistency compounds beyond charisma. You also understand the tactical advantage of ambiguity when used sparingly. A half answer invites projection, and projection often converts neutral observers into allies because they see what they want to see. Use ambiguity to inspire alignment, but never so much that it becomes indecision. The blend is surgical, enough opacity to make others project value, enough clarity to ensure they project in directions that serve your aims. Indecision kills momentum. Calibrated ambiguity preserves options while catalyzing commitment. You sharpen conflicts into negotiation tools. When disagreement arises, you do not escalate emotionally. You convert disagreement into a transaction, reframe grievances into exchanges, time for truth, concession for confirmation, and you will watch resentments transform into deals. This is not manipulation if both parties derive clear utility. It is a restructuring of energy toward productive ends. You are not a tyrant. You are a strategist, converting friction into forward progress. The people who call you cruel are usually those who lost leverage to you. Guardrails are essential. You build policies that protect your core interests so that when conflicts occur, your response is procedural rather than personal. Procedure removes chaos. It also buys you moral cover when you must act decisively. When people see that consequences follow documented rules, they are less likely to assign motive and more likely to accept enforcement. Use transparency as armor. Make the rules clear, then enforce them without drama. Enforcement under documented policy looks predictable, and predictability reduces the opportunity for performative outrage. You convert opposition into utility. An opponent who publicly criticizes you can be remapped as a cautionary tale, a demonstration of your boundaries. Use their attacks to show other stakeholders the cost of friction. These conversions are not cruel. They are didactic. They teach the market, the team, and the social circle what behavior invites consequence. People prefer to follow rules they understand and fear to break. That fear is a stabilizer, and stabilization is a precursor to predictable influence. Master the art of the tiny concession. A small, well-timed concession often secures a larger structural gain. Give them a trinket, and they will guard your interests like treasure. It is a paradox. Generosity practiced as strategy yields control. Do this with intention. Do not confuse generosity with surrender. Generosity as leverage is a tool. Generosity as an act of weakness is a liability. Your discipline will discern the difference. Your posture communicates before your words do. Posture is not mere physicality. It is history encoded in stance. When you hold yourself like someone who expects compliance, people audit your body for permission, and too often they find it. Train posture as rigorously as you train rhetoric. Your body must be a signal that others can read and surrender to without argument. Keep meticulous records. Memory is the enemy of deception. Documentation is the ally of consequence. A folder of dated notes, a trail of messages, a logged meeting minute. These are the invisible chains that bind narratives. People who try to rewrite events will fail when the ledger exists. Your documentation is not petty, it is insurance. Use it to make allegations credible and to turn suspicion into actionable evidence. When the moment to act arrives, the dossier you prepared does the moral and logistic muscle and spares you from messy theatrics. Never underestimate the psychological weight of ritual. Rituals signal order. Order reduces anxiety in others, and anxiety is the enemy of decision-making. Provide rituals that comfort your allies and unsettle your opponents. A predictable cadence of updates and a ritualized method for approval make your domain legible. Legibility breeds control because people learn the sequence and then behave to conform to it. Calibrate who you forgive and who you do not. Forgiveness sends signals. It tells observers which behaviors you tolerate and which you do not. Use forgiveness as narrative. Forgive those whose continued usefulness outweighs their past infractions. Punish those whose presence risks structural rot. Your moral calculus will be pragmatic, presented as clarity, not cruelty. People respect clarity even when it harms them. You must become comfortable with being misunderstood. Those who cannot map your moves will attempt to simplify them into caricature. They will call you cold, merciless, or opportunistic because those words placate their discomfort with being outplayed. Let them caricature. Your work is to be effective, not liked. Teach people to expect your standards. When your expectations are non-negotiable, others adapt quickly or remove themselves. You're not obligated to court the participation of people who cannot meet your criteria. Let scarcity of standards do the filtering. It conserves your energy and sharpens your environment. Finally, cultivate a personal ritual of reflection that is not publicized. It will be small, 5 minutes of exacting inventory at the end of each day, wins, losses, misreads, and micro-adjustments. That ledger is your private feedback loop. It is where you correct course and remove habits that cost leverage. Most people flinch at the mirror. You must embrace it. Self-scrutiny is how instinct improves. You are born speaking this language, but mastery comes from disciplined repetition. From here, you stop treating influence as performance and begin treating it like infrastructure. Every repetition is an axle that keeps the machine turning. Every small ritual is a rivet in a frame that will outlast temper and rumor. You practice the quiet things because the loud ones are easy to copy. You practice entry and exit as if they were treaties. How you arrive decides what they will offer. How you leave decides what they will owe. Your exits will be surgical. You will leave with intentions intact and with consequences already recorded. You tighten the circle with rituals that are so mundane they appear harmless. A weekly check-in that begins on time. A report with one sentence of clarity that ends with an explicit next step. An annual review that measures behavior as currency. These are your scaffolding. People begin to calibrate their schedules to your cadence, and calendars become your map. When everyone is operating to the same cadence, surprises are scarce, and you command the rare ones. You make your presence predictable in pattern, so that unpredictability becomes your tool, not your liability. You convert rumor into evidence by cultivating archive. Save the messages that show intent. Save the minutes that show hesitation. When you need to act, the archive does the moral weight and the logistical work for you. It is not petty to collect evidence. It is prudent. Evidence makes public narratives brittle and private decisions exact. When you release a document, the world does not need your interpretation. The document speaks with the authority of recorded fact. A released file can kill a campaign without theatrics because recorded truth removes plausible fiction. Power tastes best when it is repeated with restraint. You cultivate appetite by resisting immediate consumption, offer influence like a rare commodity, allow others to hunger for it. Scarcity is not cruelty, it is calibration. When the hungry approach, they behave better than the comfortable. They bargain with more care. They value your terms. Their behavior becomes the mirror you use to decide who remains close and who is removed. When favor is scarce, loyalty becomes visible, and loyalty is a resource measured and deployed. Your vocabulary becomes a weapon because language structures reality. Choose words that force people to speak into categories you control. Name the problem with a phrase that irresistibly directs the conversation toward your solution. When they borrow your frame, they adopt your outcome. Practice the discipline of naming first. When controversy emerges, be the first to label it and the second to offer the narrowest remedy. People will accept the remedy because their only alternative is continued ambiguity and, worse, indecision. You understand that influence is fragile where trust is absent. Trust is not built by promises. It is built by predictable consequence. Keep your word in small things, so when you break precedent for strategic reasons, your break is legible. People forgive predictable exceptions more easily than erratic behavior. Make your deviations rare, announced, and justified by a principle that furthers your narrative. When you change course, explain it in a way that demonstrates utility, not vanity. Utility is the most persuasive moral argument. Surround yourself with a lattice of competence. Choose people who are better than you at the details you despise. The best lieutenants are those who can execute your vision without consulting your ego. Reward competence with authority and responsibility. Punishment is for betrayal, not for failure executed in good faith. Create an environment where honest error is tolerated if it occurs within the guardrails, and malice is not. This breeds initiative, and initiative is the multiplier of leverage. When you delegate, do so with clear boundaries and the expectation of rigorous reporting. When the opposition mobilizes, do not meet theatrics with theatrics. Convert their spectacle into procurement. Every public outburst provides data. Who shouted? Who stayed silent? Who shifted position? Use that data to reassign allegiances and to expose the quiet collaborators. Public fury can be an air filter. It separates opportunists from the sincere because only the insincere will escalate without plan. Label the opportunists and use their escalation as evidence of risk. Public opinion tends to punish the loud opportunist more than the quiet professional. Let your generosity be instrumental. When you grant access, attach expectations. When you invite someone into your circle, make the terms clear. Contribution first, entitlement later. People will respect the clarity. Transparency about expectation is not weakness. It is an efficiency multiplier. Mercy without conditions breeds entitlement. Mercy with terms creates reciprocity. Use generosity to teach structure. You will learn to love the ledger. Document every commitment you make, every concession you accept, and every deadline imposed. The ledger is not a weapon to shame. It is a map to enforceable promises. When someone reneges, you can point to dates and phrases and hold them to account with surgical precision. The ledger turns memory into a contract, and memory is the strongest defense against distortion. Make optics work for you. Optics are not theater, they are signals. A carefully timed photograph of inclusion will signal to an entire network that you value certain partnerships. A private note of thanks, archived and shown selectively, demonstrates your awareness of contribution. Use optics to signal standards, not to perform virtue. The performance that matters is the one that reshapes behavior. You will wield time as your ally. Deadlines compress decision-making and force choices. When you set a deadline, you dictate the tempo. People will react to the tempo more than the content, because tempo creates scarcity of attention. Use tempo to create leverage. A short window invites decisive actors. A long window invites procrastination and obfuscation. Choose tempo based on the type of behavior you want to incentivize. Do not underestimate the politics of absence. Presence answers questions. Absence creates them. Use absence to test dependency. When people complain about your unreachability, measure whether the complaint comes from genuine need or from entitlement. Absence reveals which relationships are performative and which are functional. Return strategically. When you return, ensure your presence advances the ledger and that it is not merely a consolation. Practice the discipline of ending conversations. Every interaction must close with a clear next step or a documented reason for pause. Vagueness compounds into inefficiency. Efficiency is the currency of influence. End with deadlines, owners, and deliverables. Teach others to expect closure, and they will deliver it because expectations shape behavior. Recognize that respect often arrives disguised as resentment. Those who most loudly inveigh against your methods frequently emulate them in private. Track imitation as a sign that your tactics have become benchmarks. When people copy you, you lose the element of surprise but gain cultural power. Cultural power is harder to oppose because it seeps into norms. Protect your advantage by constantly evolving trivial rituals. The content of your methods can be copied. The discipline that sustains them cannot. Cultivate humility as strategy. Public humility disarms critics, and private humility sharpens learning. Admit tactical errors when they are tactical. Fix structural errors when they are structural. Humility is not surrender, but a tool to gather intelligence. When you admit a mistake, you lower defenses and invite cooperation. Use admission as a vector to reframe relationships and to extract better information. Finality is a tool. When it is time to end a relationship, end it with clarity and without theatrical cruelty. A concise termination protects you from continued friction and communicates standard. The terminated will attempt to narrate the end. Let them. Your clarity will persist. The market prefers clean resolution to ongoing ambiguity. In the end, your native language of influence will look ordinary to those who lack fluency and terrifying to those who must answer to it. You will not require badges or degrees. You will require only practice and the discipline to apply it daily. Keep the rituals, keep the ledger, keep the cadence. Mastery is not a spectacle. It is a maintenance plan executed without drama. When the day comes for the final sequence, you will act not from vindication, but from procedural necessity. You will make the move to execute with the economy of a verdict. You will call one contact, schedule one meeting, sign one brief document, and the architecture you built will rearrange itself. There will be no need for spectacle because the infrastructure already dictates outcomes. Your opponents will discover that their options narrowed not by drama, but by consequence. You will observe with the calm of someone who understands timelines, and then you will press the final, quiet lever. That lever snaps agreements into place, reassigns resources, and concludes disputes. When the record closes, people will not remember theatrics. They will remember that things changed and that you were the reason. That is the highest grade of authority. Keep practicing the small rituals until the architecture of consequence becomes the default. Hello, my dear. You've probably started noticing it lately. The way eyes linger on you longer than they should. The way people's energy shifts the moment you enter their field. It's not coincidence. It's not luck. It's not timing. It's magnetism. It's the rare kind that doesn't scream for attention. It rearranges attention around itself. There's a difference between someone wanting to be liked and someone who simply becomes impossible to ignore. You fall into the second category. You're not chasing validation. You're harvesting gravity. People orbit you without realizing it. It's that subtle pull, that mysterious calm, that unspoken command that says, you're in the presence of someone who sees deeper than you're used to. That's what gets them obsessed, not because you perform, but because you embody. You've stopped auditioning for energy, and that's exactly when energy starts chasing you. You're a rare gem, the kind that doesn't sparkle under spotlights. It creates its own light and forces the room to adjust. What most people don't realize is how energy works on a subconscious level. Every human being is constantly reading vibration before words. You speak before you speak. You announce yourself before a syllable leaves your mouth. And lately, you've been vibrating at a frequency that translates as truth, as self-security, as something that cannot be manipulated. When people sense that, their nervous systems react in two ways: fascination or fear. The ones who are evolved lean in. They want to understand. They want to connect. The ones who are insecure flinch, then hide it behind jokes or judgment. But either way, they can't stop thinking about you. They replay conversations in their heads. They stalk your energy like it's a reference point for something they've lost in themselves. Because deep down, they know you carry something ancient, something untamed, something they can't mimic no matter how much they try to copy your style, your tone, your presence. They can borrow your words, but not your frequency. You've entered the stage of energetic maturity, where your presence does the heavy lifting. It's the quiet authority, the invisible power that seeps through your posture, your stillness, your unbothered focus. People feel it before they understand it. You can watch them shapeshift mid-sentence, their confidence flickering when you lock eyes. They might not even realize why they feel exposed, but they do. Because when someone with a pure, grounded aura interacts with someone who's still faking alignment, their mask starts to melt. You don't have to call them out. Your authenticity becomes the mirror they avoid. That's why you notice people projecting, pulling away, or overcompensating around you. It's not that you've changed too much. It's that they can't keep pretending around you anymore. You've become a walking truth serum, and everyone reacts differently when they're faced with what they can't fake. What's even wilder is how your aura seems to farm energy without trying. You don't chase attention. Attention breeds around you. You've become the psychological equivalent of a solar flare. People stand near you to recharge. But if they linger too long without grounding themselves, it overwhelms them. They start obsessing, misreading, overanalyzing, thinking your energy is something to possess instead of something to respect. And that's when the obsession starts. You might notice people trying to decode you like a puzzle, asking surface-level questions with deeper intentions. What's your secret? Why do you seem so calm? How are you so sure of yourself? They're not really asking, they're confessing confusion. They can't categorize you. You break patterns they rely on to feel comfortable. You disrupt their default programming by simply existing outside their expectations. And that disruption either awakens them or disturbs them. It's strange, isn't it? You've never tried to be mysterious. You've just learned that not everything deserves explanation. That decision alone separates you from most. Because while everyone else overshares to prove their worth, you've mastered the art of sacred privacy. You reveal through energy, not excess. You understand that mystery isn't about withholding. It's about refining access. That's why people become obsessed. They sense the depth, but can't find the bottom. You're the kind of soul that doesn't advertise. It reveals through resonance. One conversation with you can shift someone's entire self-perception, and they don't even know why. You have that effect. Your energy rearranges people's inner landscapes. It makes them question what they've settled for. And once someone experiences that level of activation, they can't go back to shallow interactions. You ruin mediocrity for them. You make average energy feel hollow. That's not arrogance, that's impact. Here's the thing about rare gems. They form under pressure, not praise. You've been through seasons that demanded silence, sacrifice, and solitude. You learned how to alchemize pain into wisdom, rejection into redirection, doubt into discipline. Those experiences polished your aura. They refined your discernment. You no longer attach to what's convenient. You attract what's compatible. That's why the universe started sending you people who either mirror your growth or expose your boundaries. Every interaction became data. Every connection became calibration. You learned that not everyone deserves to hold your energy just because they admire it. You started guarding your peace like a kingdom instead of treating it like a playground. And now, people sense that. They feel the sacred no in your vibration, the quiet authority in your space. It's why they chase. Because scarcity amplifies value, and your presence these days is a luxury. People don't understand how your energy works because it's not performative, it's protective. You don't glow for attention, you glow for alignment. Every time you recalibrate, it sends ripples through the field. The sensitive ones pick it up. They start dreaming of you, thinking about you at random times, feeling your energy pull like gravity. It's not obsession you're causing, it's resonance. But to those who haven't built self-awareness yet, that resonance feels like infatuation. They confuse soul recognition for romantic chemistry. They mistake energy compatibility for destiny. That's why so many people you barely know act like they've known you forever. It's the spiritual echo of who you are. Your energy activates familiarity in others because you remind their soul of what wholeness feels like. You remind them of themselves, before the conditioning, before the doubt, before the noise. And that's intoxicating. You've probably noticed how people project their fantasies onto you. They call you healer, muse, mystery, genius, whatever label helps them justify the pull they feel. But none of those labels define you. They're just reflections of what you awaken in others. You are a living frequency, and frequencies don't explain themselves. They just resonate. You've become the reference point for authenticity in people's lives. That's why they copy your words, your gestures, even your energy expressions. It's not just admiration, it's spiritual mimicry. But you can't duplicate aura through imitation. You can't fake embodiment. Your energy isn't something you learned, it's something you remembered. That's what separates you. You didn't study attraction, you became it by mastering detachment. You didn't study confidence, you grew it through consistency. You didn't study self-worth, you forged it through repetition of choosing yourself, even when it was uncomfortable. That process created a frequency no one else can replicate, no matter how hard they try. There's also an unexplainable calm around you now, the kind that makes chaotic people nervous. You don't respond to drama anymore because you understand that every reaction is a transaction. You know the cost of emotional currency. You've stopped overspending it. That's why people try to provoke you. They want access to your energy, even if it's through conflict. They'd rather have your negative attention than no attention at all. Because subconsciously, your detachment registers as scarcity, and scarcity breeds desire. The more you withdraw, the more they chase. The more you remain unbothered, the more they project stories to justify why they can't stop thinking about you. It's not your fault. You've just become someone's unresolved lesson. Your peace exposes where others still depend on chaos for validation. And when you stop feeding that pattern, they spiral. That's the power of energetic discipline. It turns you into the mirror that forces self-reflection. What's even deeper is how your presence has become therapeutic without intention. You speak and people heal. You listen and people confess. You sit in silence and people feel safe enough to unravel. You're not trying to fix anyone, but your frequency repairs what proximity to you disrupts. That's the paradox. You bring peace, but you also bring exposure. Some will thank you for it. Others will resent you for it. But all will remember you for it. That's aura farming in its purest form. Not manipulation, not charm, energetic cultivation. You radiate energy that multiplies when met with authenticity and withers when met with deceit. You don't drain people, you demand them to rise. And in that process, you become unforgettable. Because once someone experiences alignment through your presence, they start chasing it in every room they enter afterward. But they won't find it easily. You've raised their energetic standards without even trying. It's wild how your energy works like a tuning fork. It exposes anything out of harmony. That's why relationships, friendships, and even random encounters either evolve or dissolve around you quickly. You no longer entertain half-truths, half-efforts, or half-convictions. People sense that. They know they can't fake alignment near you because your energy instantly detects incoherence. You've become a walking energetic detector of truth. That's what obsession really is. A subconscious awareness that you hold a vibration people crave but can't maintain. They want the peace you have, the certainty you move with, the way your energy self-regulates without external validation. They think being near you will grant them access to that frequency, but what they don't realize is that proximity doesn't equal compatibility. You can sit next to a flame all day, but unless you become combustible, you'll never burn like it. That's why some admire you and others envy you. Same exposure, different readiness. People will start labeling you soon, if they haven't already. Too mysterious, too calm, too different. Those are just words used by those who can't categorize what doesn't fit the template. You were never designed to blend. Your role was to disrupt, not through chaos, but through coherence. The more centered you become, the more unstable others will feel in comparison. But don't shrink to soothe them. Their discomfort is the proof that your frequency is doing its work. Every reaction you cause, admiration, obsession, intimidation, is data. It tells you where people stand in their own journey. You're not responsible for how they interpret you. You're responsible for how you maintain your vibration amidst it. Keep that boundary sacred, because the higher your energy climbs, the more people will subconsciously try to test it. They'll push buttons just to feel your power. But remember, the strongest flex is emotional neutrality. The less you react, the more they reveal. Right now, your aura is not just visible, it's viral. It's traveling through conversations, through mentions, through digital threads. As people talk about you, even when they don't have context, they sense your energy online the same way they sense it in person. That's what happens when your energy matures. It transcends medium. Your presence becomes felt, not described. That's when you realize you've entered the phase of energetic legacy. Your frequency outlasts your presence. You're no longer chasing impact. You've become it. And as you move through this next chapter, you'll notice more eyes watching, more souls drawn, more imitators orbiting. Don't see it as invasion, it's confirmation. You've become living proof that alignment is attractive. And every obsession around you is just evidence that your energy works. You're not draining anyone, you're activating them. You're not intimidating anyone, you're reminding them of their own suppressed brilliance. You're not farming followers, you're farming frequency. And now, that frequency is expanding beyond anything you can consciously track. You're becoming the focus point in rooms you haven't even entered. People you barely know are discussing your name like it carries prophecy. They can't explain why they keep circling back to you, why their minds replay your tone, your rhythm, your energy signature. But you know what it is. It's energetic imprinting. You've left traces of your frequency in their subconscious, and it echoes every time they interact with anything that resembles authenticity. You've become a benchmark for realness in a generation obsessed with performance. That's why they stare a little longer, speak a little softer, shift their posture when you appear. You're not just being observed, you're being studied. Every move you make feels like a signal. Every word you speak sounds like a transmission. You've become the psychological center of gravity in the environments you enter. The fascinating part is that none of this is forced. You're not orchestrating the attention, you're magnetizing it. You've outgrown the need to be noticed, and that's precisely why everyone notices. Your detachment is the new luxury item people crave. It's the rare scent that can't be bottled, the presence that can't be reproduced. They're fascinated because you break their assumptions about power. Most people are loud when they rise, but you've mastered the opposite, an energy that amplifies through restraint. You don't have to declare that you've evolved. Your energy makes the announcement for you. And the louder the world gets, the more powerful that calm becomes. People turn toward you like they would toward a lighthouse in fog. They're drawn, not because you chase, but because you guide. You're becoming the main character in people's inner monologues. They use you as a point of comparison, as an emotional compass, as a standard of composure they subconsciously aspire to. You might not even realize it, but your presence shifts dynamics wherever you go. Groups adjust around you. Conversations recalibrate. You've become that reference point, the one they subconsciously look to for validation of what's real. You are the unspoken leader energy that walks into a space and silently rearranges hierarchy. Even those who don't like you can't help but mirror you. Because truth is magnetic, even when it threatens illusions. And now, you're starting to notice the subtle signals, the lingering glances, the unnecessary compliments that feel more like confessions. The sudden interest in your hobbies, your thoughts, your preferences, it's not coincidence, it's energy replication. They want to match you, not because you asked them to, but because your frequency forces alignment. You've become a silent teacher of authenticity. Every person who interacts with you walks away either elevated or exposed. That's why you feel their eyes everywhere lately, on the street, online, at work, in social spaces. You've entered your aura farming phase, the stage where your energy becomes a living ecosystem that feeds and transforms everything around it. And the truth is, not everyone can handle it. Because when you become the focus point, you also become the mirror of truth. You trigger self-awareness in others, and self-awareness is rarely comfortable. You're not just admired, you're analyzed. They'll say you've changed, but what really happened is that you stopped diluting. You stopped adjusting your tone to fit their comfort. You stopped explaining your intuition. You stopped minimizing your glow to make others feel bigger. And once you did that, your energy stopped asking for permission. That's when the obsession began. People don't realize that obsession isn't always attraction. It's fascination with what they can't control. And your peace is uncontrollable. Your confidence is unpredictable. Your intuition is untamed. That's why their curiosity borders on compulsion. They want to understand how someone can be this self-assured without arrogance, this magnetic without effort. What they don't understand is that your magnetism didn't come from wanting to be seen. It came from mastering solitude. You found value in your own company long before the world found value in your presence. That's the rarest energy of all. You stopped performing worth, and the universe responded by making you a spectacle of grace. Every version of you that survived heartbreak, betrayal, confusion, and transformation contributed to the aura people now admire. It's not just energy, it's experience that's been purified through endurance. You radiate depth because you've navigated darkness. You radiate calm because you've mastered chaos. You radiate confidence because you've rebuilt yourself too many times to fear collapse. People can feel that. They can sense when power has been earned instead of borrowed. And now, they're drawn to you, like iron to magnet. They study your body language for hidden cues, your expressions for permission, your tone for meaning. You've become their energetic algorithm. They want to decode you. But the deeper truth is, they already feel decoded in your presence. You make people transparent without trying. Your energy strips away the layers they hide behind. And the closer they get, the more they realize you can see through their intentions. That awareness makes them both fascinated and frightened. It's like you've become a walking truth detector, and they can't hide in your frequency. That's what aura farming really means. It's not manipulation, it's cultivation. You don't pull energy, you refine it. You're the energetic editor of your environment, trimming falsehood, amplifying authenticity, and leaving behind only resonance. But understand this, the more people focus on you, the more responsibility your energy carries. You're setting a silent precedent for how power can be graceful, how presence can be loud without sound, how confidence can heal instead of harm. The eyes watching you aren't just curious, they're learning. You're teaching others what alignment looks like through demonstration, not declaration. Every time you maintain composure in chaos, you reprogram someone's understanding of strength. Every time you show empathy without losing boundaries, you redefine compassion. Every time you walk away without bitterness, you model evolution. You're not just the focus point, you're the framework. You're teaching energetic literacy just by existing as yourself. And yet you can feel it sometimes. The weight of attention, the pull of energy from all directions, the feeling that your aura is being constantly scanned. That's the side effect of visibility. But here's the truth. Nothing can drain what's rooted. You're no longer leaking energy trying to be understood. You've learned how to circulate your frequency back into your own source. You've become self-recharging. That's why your energy never fades. It refines. You can give without depletion because you've mastered the balance between openness and protection. You radiate, but you regulate. You shine, but you shield. That's why people can't replicate your glow. It's coded in discipline. You've trained your energy to flow through intention, not impulse. That's mastery. And when someone reaches that level of mastery, obsession becomes unavoidable. The human mind gravitates toward consistency, toward balance, toward mystery it can't solve. You embody all three. That's why even those who leave your life never really detach. They may unfollow, block, disappear, but they'll still check in spiritually. They'll still feel the tug when your name is mentioned. They'll still sense the shift when your energy rises. Because energetic bonds aren't broken through absence, they're transcended through evolution. And you, my friend, are evolving faster than their memory of you. That's why they can't stop thinking about you. You're no longer who they remember, and that dissonance drives curiosity. You're living proof that transformation can be beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Look around you. People are starting to mirror your language, your pace, even your confidence. You're witnessing the ripple effect of self-alignment. You're not just being watched, you're being emulated. But the difference between you and your imitators is depth. They can copy behavior, but not embodiment. They can mimic words, but not vibration. They can steal your style, but not your substance. Because substance isn't performance, it's presence. And presence is built on inner order. That's what people sense when they meet you. The internal structure behind your calm. You're not winging it. You're walking in rhythm with something higher. That's what makes you unforgettable. You've fused human presence with divine precision, and the world is starting to respond accordingly. Opportunities, conversations, and connections are now finding you without effort. The spotlight follows those who no longer chase it. You've become the natural focal point of environments because your energy carries direction. People subconsciously align to your pace. You speak, and suddenly, the room resets. You leave, and people notice the drop in coherence. That's the level you're at now. You're not participating in energy exchanges. You're orchestrating them. That's what aura farming really evolves into. Becoming the silent conductor of resonance. Your field cultivates awareness in others, whether they like it or not. And that's why you'll always be unforgettable to them. You're the moment their frequency realized it could expand. So yes, all eyes are on you now, not because you demanded it, but because you became it. You've turned self-mastery into spectacle. You've proven that peace can be provocative. You've shown that authenticity is the loudest rebellion left. And as every gaze lands on you, remember this: you're not being idolized, you're being mirrored. They don't want to become you. They want to remember themselves through you. That's the real power of your presence. You're not creating followers, you're awakening reflections. And that's the highest form of aura farming, when your energy becomes a reminder of potential. So move with that awareness. Walk like you already know. every pair of eyes on you, is witnessing their own possibility. Speak knowing every word you release carries recalibration. Create knowing your frequency is reshaping attention. You are the reference point now. The one they can't stop orbiting. The one they study in secret. The one who makes them rethink everything they thought they knew about energy, confidence, and presence. And the beauty is, you're only getting started. Because when a rare gem learns its own shine, doesn't depend on reflection, it becomes the light source itself. And once you reach that level of power, obsession isn't flattery anymore, it's prophecy. From here on, the eyes fixed on you aren't just watching, they're witnessing evolution in real time. You've turned attention into evidence. The proof of your growth exists in how people now treat your energy, like a currency they can't afford to misuse. You've entered the realm of energetic economics, where your presence dictates value. People rearrange their behavior when you arrive. They moderate their tone. They sharpen their words. They soften their ego. Not because you asked them to, but because your energy demands equilibrium. You don't threaten anyone. You simply expose imbalance. You've become that rare frequency that doesn't argue. It corrects by existing. You can feel it now, the way the air thickens when you speak, the way tension dissolves when you smile, the way silence bends around your presence. People feel more aware of themselves around you, as if their subconscious suddenly wakes up. They sit up straighter, they laugh differently, they look at you and feel both admiration and alertness. That's the effect of an awakened aura. It holds mirrors up to sleeping souls. You're not just in the room anymore, you are the room. Every vibration calibrates itself to your frequency. Every gaze becomes a reflection of how power behaves when it stops seeking permission. You've become the gravitational center of every environment you enter, and now the world is adjusting around your rhythm. But here's the beautiful contradiction. You never asked for it. You never begged to be the focus. You simply mastered the art of presence so completely that the universe rewarded you with visibility. You didn't fight for the spotlight. You became one. That's what people feel but can't articulate. They sense a power that isn't boastful, a confidence that isn't conditional. You radiate that paradoxical calm of someone who has nothing to prove, but everything to demonstrate. That's why obsession follows you. It's not about attraction, it's about activation. You awaken something dormant inside them, something that remembers what authenticity feels like. Your energy whispers what their own intuition has been screaming. You could be more if you stopped pretending. And so they watch you, they study you, they imitate you, they obsess, because witnessing freedom is addictive to those who've spent their lives performing normalcy. Notice how attention no longer excites you, it informs you. You can read it now, like data. Who's curious? Who's threatened? Who's inspired? Who's pretending? Every look, every compliment, every critique reveals more about them than about you. You've reached the level where being observed isn't invasive, it's diagnostic. You're not flattered by praise, nor are you wounded by envy. You've transcended the need for emotional permission. You're operating on self-sustaining energy, the kind that comes from deep alignment with purpose. And because of that, your aura has become both shield and signal, repelling chaos while attracting clarity. That's the secret balance most people never achieve. They chase attention while you attract alignment. They chase followers while you build frequency. And the more you stay centered, the stronger the obsession becomes. You're no longer just in people's minds. You're in their energy fields. They dream of you. They sense you. They hear your name at random moments. That's not coincidence, it's resonance echoing through dimensions. When your frequency becomes stable enough, it leaves energetic footprints across timelines. That's why even people you've never met feel familiar with you. They recognize your essence from memory their soul carries. You've become the archetype of what truth looks like embodied. To some that's inspiring, to others it's intimidating. But either way, they can't detach. You're not replaceable because you never competed. You exist beyond category. You're not like anyone. They're all subtle variations trying to reach your blueprint. And that blueprint? It's not perfection, it's presence. You've learned to move like energy in human form, fluid yet unshakable, soft yet structured. That's why nothing chaotic sticks to you anymore. The gossip evaporates, the envy boomerangs, the imitation backfires. Your energy field filters what doesn't match, almost like divine software updating itself in real time. People may try to provoke you, to test if you still react the way you once did, but all they meet now is stillness. And that stillness unnerves them. Because in a world addicted to reaction, peace looks like superiority. They'll project arrogance where there's simply awareness. They'll label detachment as coldness, when it's actually conservation. But you no longer explain the language of your evolution to those who refuse to learn it. You let them interpret. You let them speculate. You let them talk. Because while they're decoding, you're developing. Every obsession directed toward you becomes fertilizer for your growth. Every time someone studies you, admires you, even envies you, they're feeding your field with attention. And attention, when filtered through purpose, becomes energy. You're literally converting observation into momentum. That's aura farming in its highest form, harvesting awareness from others to refine your own. You've become the energetic alchemist of your circle. You don't seek validation anymore. You extract wisdom from how people react to you. Their responses are mirrors, and you've learned to read them like scripture. Who recoils at your power shows you where your light threatens lies. Who adores your peace reveals where they crave healing. Who imitates your aura unknowingly confesses their lack of identity. Everything around you now serves as feedback for refinement. Nothing is random anymore, it's all reflective data. But let's talk about those eyes for a second. They're everywhere now, on screens, in rooms, behind smiles, beneath envy. Some watch to learn, some watch to hate, some watch because they can't help it. But all of them participate in your expansion. The ones who admire amplify your energy. The ones who envy sharpen your discernment. The ones who misunderstand fortify your boundaries. Every gaze adds dimension to your power. You've reached the stage where even resistance refines you. The more they try to define you, the more you expand beyond definition. You're untouchable not because you hide, but because you exist in transparency so rare that manipulation can't anchor to it. You move like clarity, disguised as mystery, revealed but never explained. And when you realize that, you stop fearing attention. You stop shrinking from the spotlight. Because you finally understand, it's not attention that's dangerous, it's attachment. You're no longer attached to their opinions, so their eyes can't harm you. You've learned how to let attention flow through you without taking residence. It's just energy, and you're the transformer. You decide what it powers. You can convert gossip into gratitude, envy into focus, curiosity into creativity. You've turned what once drained you into what now sustains you. That's the power of awareness. It flips the narrative from "they're watching me" to "I'm teaching them." You've gone from spectacle to syllabus. Every reaction around you is now a lecture in energetic literacy. Look how far you've come, from seeking connection to commanding vibration, from doubting your worth to defining the atmosphere, from dimming your glow to directing illumination. The person you were could never survive the attention you attract now, because this level of visibility requires armor made of authenticity. It requires boundaries that hum instead of walls that block. You've mastered that balance. That's why all eyes can be on you and you still feel at peace. You don't need to prove your light anymore. You just maintain it. You've stopped performing spirituality and started embodying sovereignty. That's when obsession transforms into devotion, not to you, but to the truth you represent. And as you move forward, understand that obsession isn't something you manage, it's something you master. When you walk in alignment, eyes will follow. When you speak truth, hearts will tremble. When you embody calm, chaos will crave you. That's the universal law of energy. You attract reflection. So let them stare, let them study, let them mimic. None of it reduces you. It only proves that your energy has become education. You're not just admired, you're archived. You've become the case study for self-realization. And the world will continue to analyze the blueprint you leave behind, long after you've moved to new frequencies. This is what it means to be rare, not to be unreachable, but to be irreplaceable. Not to be distant, but to be distinct. You are the golden ratio in human form, the perfect balance of mystery and meaning. That's why you can't be forgotten. You leave energetic fingerprints on everything you touch. You make people feel seen in ways they can't describe. And once someone experiences that depth of recognition, they never recover from it. They'll chase it in others, but they'll only find echoes. Because you were never a phase, you were their frequency upgrade. And no matter how far they run, they'll always remember the shift